Welcome to the Good Enough Lap Guide in the Ford Mustang GT4 at Road Atlanta, your lap guide to move up through the splits. The purpose of this video is to give you guys a solid foundation that you can build a consistent lap off of. Once you can run those consistent laps, if you focus on finishing the race, staying out of trouble, and just racing your race, you will move up through the splits. First, we'll talk about the track characteristics of Road Atlanta. I really enjoy this track. It's a classic track in general, and what I mean by that is they really used the terrain around them when they built the track. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of elevation changes. There are a couple obvious places you can pass. Coming out of the last corner, going into the first corner, and then coming out of the S's. If you can get out of those S's better than somebody else, that sets you up very nicely for the next corner, and then going on to the back stretch. Other than that, you really just need to stay behind people, mostly in the S's, and going through one all the way to the S's. You really just want to stay behind people. If they make a mistake, you can take advantage of it, especially if it's going to be raining this week. You will be able to take advantage of some people making mistakes in those, and you can just drive on your line and pass them. Next, we'll talk about the car characteristics of the Mustang GT4. If you overdrive the entry, it's going to understeer on entry and middle. If you do not overdrive the entry of the corner, you should be fine. It's pretty neutral. The car rotates nicely in the fast stuff around here, like that last sweeper, it does really good. Turn one, it does really good. And then coming up off the corner, it also will be neutral. It does have a little bit of oversteer in the faster stuff, but overall the car is pretty neutral as long as you don't overdrive it. If you do overdrive it, it's going to understeer on entry, it's going to oversteer on exit. So that's a sign you're overdriving the car. Back it down a little bit and you'll be locked in. The weather for this lap was 69 degrees Fahrenheit or 20.5 degrees Celsius. The track temp was 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 21.1 degrees Celsius. The lap time was a 124.963. Sector 1 was a 12.612, Sector 2 was a 24.396, Sector 3 was a 29.379, and Sector 4 was an 18.577. Alright, let's get into the lap. For turn 1, your braking zone is going to be at the 100 marker. And then it'll be a middle late apex for the corner. For turn 3, there's no obvious braking point, but this is where I brake. It's kind of as we're coming to the top of the crest of the hill. I'm just going to hug the curb, get those left side tires on the white line for the best entry into turn 3. I find it's best to not get on the curb in the Mustang because when you come off the curb, it unsettles the car. And this is a blind apex. That's why I kind of stopped on the curb, as you can see on the top left, to show you where the apex is. You can cut a little bit, but I wouldn't cut too much because, again, it kind of unsettles the car. Plus, you get a 1X if you go too far. For turn 4, I really like to get the left side tires actually on the curb and just ride it all the way around. You'll also notice I'm not full throttle going around the corner. You just kind of have to modulate the throttle and get the feel for the balance of the car as you're going around the corner. As we head down the hill through the S's, you're going to want the right side tires on the curb, and you want to get on the grass just a little bit. It's almost like there's an extension of the curb. You go from the asphalt on the grass a little bit straight to the curb. For the second part of the S's, we'll just touch the curb just a little bit. You don't want to ride it too aggressively because it'll unsettle the car. And once again, the last part of the S's, we're going to ride on top of the curb. This will give us the best line going through turn 5. And for turn 5, it's going to be a middle late apex. Just barely touch the curb. I don't like to ride the curb too much because it will unsettle the car. Then let the car float out wide on exit. If you guys are enjoying this video, hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Helps me get in the algorithms. For turn 6, we're going to brake where the concrete barrier ends on the left. And then it'll be a middle late apex for the corner. You can just barely touch the curb. And then your braking zone for turn 8 is going to be as you float out to the curb. And then it'll be a middle late apex for the corner. If you guys are finding these videos useful, hit that subscribe button. I'm doing them every week. Obviously, this is a great place to pass people, so you really want to get turn 8 right unless you're driving the Porsche. For turn 10A, there's no obvious place to brake, but it's about 50 feet past the 200 marker. And then for the corner, it's going to be a middle late apex. You don't want to cut this corner too early or you will get the 1X. If you cut it a little bit later and wrap it around, you won't get that 1X. And then turn 10B, it's going to be a middle late apex. You can cut a little. As we head over the crest, this is going to be something you're just going to have to get the feel for. But the main thing is you want to make sure you get back out to the outside of the track once you get to the end of the curb. And that will give you the best line for turn 12. And then turn 12 is a blast in this car. You just hit that middle late apex and you can go over the curb and it just really hunkers down. It's a lot of fun. That's your good enough lap guide in the Ford Mustang GT4 at Road Atlanta. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. Doing these every week. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.